Armada Book 3 Chapter 7 The Simoties Part 3. Meanwhile, Julia and Kirk arrived at the space station to find Ari and her friends were already there waiting. "Hi, Ari, right?" Kirk greeted Ari. "Yes, Captain Kirk. These are my friends Debbie and Brandy. It's Lieutenant Colonel now, I mean just recently. And I see you're all second lieutenants. Congratulations." Layla beamed in with Maria and Edna. They were all excited to venture into the new human worlds. "I thought Vicky would be going with us," Julia asked. "She got hung up with Adam." Layla answered. "Why, what's wrong?" "Nothing, it's just that Adam seems to be starting to be so mother-dependent." Santos beamed in with Santiago and they sat at the couch arguing about some algorithm. "So where are we going first?" Julia asked. "The Karakis," Londi said. After several hours they arrived at the Karaki planet. They beamed down to Sonia's office. Sonia stood. "Welcome, I was told you were coming." "Nice to see you again, Kirk." She motioned them to a row of long sofas and 3 accent chairs on the left side of her desk beside a large window. Kirk introduced the women and then the men. Sonia made it a point to embrace each one of them. Julia started. "I am sure you must be thinking about your sister. Right now she is commanding 10 ships with one of our generals named Lindaborn who also has 10 and they are going after 4,200 ships that wanted to attack the Mac galaxies and try to turn them back." 4,200 ships and they have only 20 ships? Sonia asked. "I wouldn't worry about that too much. I just hope they would be able to avoid hurting the Bourbon personnel or killing a lot of them." "You expect 20 ships to not kill the enemy and turn them back?" "She is your sister. You should know her better than I about these things. And I know she is good at these things and I have no doubt she and Linda will succeed." "Julia, you're right. I just got carried away." She was scared but did not show it. Lachine has always gotten herself into these adventures which scared her no end. Sonia composed herself, again, "And so I suppose you guys came over to help us with something. First we would like to inform you we are planning a summit that will start in 5 days for all the planets we recently freed and contacted. There would be 8 planetary leaders who will attend. You see you have common problems and we would like to present in the summit some solutions so you are all on the same page. And maybe you can compare notes and see how you can help each other out." Julia said. "I like that. Andrew and Ellie and their group have given us so much already and I guess this would now be the official start of the hard work we were talking about among the human planets." Julia added, "A lot of hard work from the parties would be involved. I understand you all came out of a long and bitter occupation and you all need similar things. The other human planets will bring their own delegation and we have provided for these as well. How many can I bring?" "Thousands if you like. The more the better for your people. Brent told me about you, Maria and Edna, that you were Ellie's best friends in school," Sonia said as she turned to Maria. "Yes, we were and still are. It was Ellie who told me, us, to do these things when we began going off-world a few years ago," Maria said. Edna added, "Now we are all over the place. Andrew mentioned problems with or the need for high-impact education for all the planets and it just fits in with a project we wanted to do." "Victor?" Victor began with Andrew's concerns and he explained they intended to turn a whole planet into one large university system with hundreds of campuses and programs that can immediately address the problems of the planets. To transfer the technology at a faster and more efficient rate with a short-term and long-term perspective in mind. He talked about some of the planet issues and solutions. Maria explained, "There are technologies that are harder to adapt and use. Some planets have varying levels of technological advancement. Your planet is higher than most or probably the highest so far. But the technologies we would be teaching are above all of what you have and intended to be learned fast and have immediate impact on your societies." "I like that. I guess Ellie is right, we cannot depend on Armada scientists in the long run and must have a solid program and institutional processes to address our problems. And since you guys are doing the transferring it would benefit you if you can centralize everything in one place." "Precisely. The summit is really for planet leaders. It will feature speakers who have turned around planets, created societies in planets and how they did them. One is a Norset who single-handedly created an advanced society for 900 years. He left the species who believed he was one of them to become a hermit. Another one of the speakers is a king we just met a few hours ago. He defeated 2 countries in his planet a few months back and integrated several countries into one, finally ending up creating a society where he became irrelevant. In his boredom, he now works under Andrew as one of his trainee commanders," Julia said. "That king must be very good at delegation. After being king he now works with his people as one of the Armada personnel, that's giving up a lot," Sonia reckoned. Kirk explained, "We are also here to assess your communications technologies. Santos and Santiago here are leaders of our technical teams to look at your issues. Santiago added, in a few days we would be setting up newer TPs and communications links so you can talk to or appear to any person you want to talk to anywhere where the hop ships are within range. So I can talk or appear before my sister Lachine. Or she can appear before you. Santos said. I will love you two to death if you can do that for me. Sonia stood up and I would like to tour you around and introduce you to the council who are waiting for you. Julia, these are your girls? Just Ari, the other two are her friends all the way from when they were very small. Now they wear uniforms of your ships. Are you girls space explorers? No, not really. We have yet to finish our internship for another year. Mom just let us go with her so you guys can see that your kids can be starship commanders also. Ari said. I like that. When our kids of your age see you walking around in starship uniforms they will be inspired beyond belief. Good thinking, Julia. They went out of the building and they saw a very vibrant society. There were cars, although very few, that run on electricity and the place is very clean. People were walking at a fast clip, faster than normal like they have a lot of catching up to do. Then Ari noticed the rock beside the building. Let me guess, that's diamond. Ari said pointing to the rock. Sonia explained, Olive beamed it here and I have no idea what to do with it. It reminds us that what most people consider expensive just sits there in large volume. The log reports show your planet have an abundance of diamond. Once you start using diamond in your cars and as an energy pack, energy would be much cheaper than you have it now. Julia said. Or we can sell it to planets that don't have diamond. Sonia said. Diamond are cheap. Boss Andrew used to deliver 5 very large shiploads of diamond to the Inkies every month for a few months for free until the Inkies learned how to mine it themselves using ships. There may be a market at the start but later on the market disappears. I would suggest you read the ship logs and see what is happening out there with our Armada. Kirk said. What about money? We have one form of money but I don't know if it would be of any value out there. Sonia asked. There is a currency exchange maintained by the Max in one of their planets that determine the values of the currencies and we get it real-time anywhere within the range of the TPs. Then there is the usual black market for currencies and barter system for goods and services that exist out there. We can set a value and you can have any currency you like from any species. The tricky part is to determine the value as in a barter system. Edna said. Or future value. Sonia countered. Edna nodded, yes, taken into account to determine the present value. Or we can borrow in exchange for future value. Sonia added. That too. Edna said. What's in this for you guys? What do you get in return? Sonia asked. Julia explained, to me our goal is to group all the human planets into one organized council or group. The ultimate result would be that the opportunities out there are brought to the people here as in any other human planet. We are all the same species and if you look out there, they are grouped by species as well. Our species are probably the most disagreeing species than say the Talonauts, Norsets or the Inkies. But we have to group in order to have a better position among the other species in terms of trade and commerce. Politically, we can all be different and still be united as in an interplanetary council. Victor added, our goal is commercial. We are in the goodwill business. We run the university because we believe that in the long run, a better educated human population will want our goods and services. After 2 to 4 years, the graduates of our schools will become the leaders, political and commercial, of the planets they came from. It would now be very easy to talk to the leaders. It would be very easy for us to know who to trust. In the end, as Julia said, the opportunities available in one planet would also be available in the others. For us, the more we make these opportunities available to planets the better for business in the long run. Mind you, we are not talking about commerce between cities but commerce between planets and between species. The commercial arrangements out there are not too favorable to humans because we are small and unorganized. How can you compete with the Inkies who have 800 planets and want to buy say all the ice cream in the galaxies? As a group we may be able to compete. And your point of view for planning anything should now be decades and centuries instead of months or weeks. Think of it like we redistribute opportunities starting with goodwill. Edna said. Victor continued, from our perspective, our groups of several human planets have profited from our off-world activities enough to spearhead the push for greater integration into a large economy of even more human planets. And that is what we are doing at the moment. To give you a sense of perspective. Once you deal off-world, the volume and value of transactions are very large. For example, a meat contract with the Inkies spans 100 years of all that we can produce in a month in a certain planet. Like 1 month transactions off-world would be the value of your whole planet's trade in 2 years. And the profits are higher. In the end, your country prospers. Our job is to make you reach that stage easier and faster so we can profit with you. Wow, I guess we have a lot of catching up to do. Sonia said. Yes, but don't move too fast. Take your time. Let your people warm into the new realities. They will figure this out soon enough. We are just the spark, the starters, they are the doers, although sometimes you have to blow some air to make the fire hotter. Remember, out there the planet governments play a big role because trade is between large number of the same or different species in a sphere 18 bly or more across. The market is that big, Julia said. And you will be traveling around this 18 bly sphere for your government? Sonia asked. Yes, I used to do that between countries in our planet. Now it's between planet countries or countries with a lot of planets. I like your job. I think I should create a team that will go around the human planets for starters and to the other species later on. Of course you have to do this. But don't rush. You can create several teams that will have political and economic purposes. This will tell the others that you exist and are willing to trade, that you want to learn from the other planets and species. It would be a lot of fun, Julia said. Edna explained, like our group. The teams that you should be sending out must also include some of your business leaders and academics. I understand, Sonia said. Julia added, Sonia, you should schedule an intergalactic trip for yourself as a leader of this planet. Plan in advance to enable your planet destinations to plan for your arrival also. It would be an eye-opener because nothing beats face-to-face encounters and being in the place and seeing it with your own eyes. I plan to next year, Sonia said. Sonia toured them around the city in a large car. At noon, they went to an orbiting ship so they could observe from space and get a perspective of the whole planet. Then they beamed down to one city, then to another where they met the council. Julia was just imagining 7 more planets to go.